In this video, I'll be walking through why you can't sign clients. And this is after scaling over 140 marketing agencies, running over 1,000 campaigns and booking over 4,000 calls. Now, it's perfectly fine. I've been there. Whether that's the case that you can't stand out from other agencies, you don't have a clear way to present your service, the results that you already have. Maybe you can't book enough qualified sales calls. Maybe when you do get the sales calls, the people don't have budget, right? They aren't qualified, they don't need what you're offering. Or maybe when you are taking the calls, they just don't convert. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk you through 3 principles on why this may be happening and exactly how you can solve it by the end of this video. So the first reason is that you're working too much. Now, I'll tell you a quick story from a sales call that I was having with a prospect who eventually signed up, scaled very quickly, but regardless. On the sales call, I was asking them, obviously your goal is to get to around 70,000 per month. This was their goal. And I was asking, what's stopping you from getting that? And they were saying, well, I'm at 10K now. I'm signing clients and I want to get to 70, but I just can't sign more clients. And I was like, okay, but why? What's stopping you? And then he was like, I don't know, I have a system that's getting bookings, but it's like, I just can't take all the calls. I'm so busy doing other things. So the client throughout the call, he was thinking that he didn't have enough booking, right? When he actually had a system that is working, the problem was that he didn't have enough time to keep using the system, to actually do more of it. He would start using it, get some bookings, sign clients, and then not have any time because he's delivering for his clients. He was doing everything. He was doing outreach, he was doing sales, he was doing delivery, he was talking to clients. So he would get in this cycle where he would sign more clients. Then he would be so busy that he couldn't invest more time into acquisition. So he'd stop that. And then he'd just work on the clients until maybe 1 or 2 of them churned. And then he'd do it again. So because of this, and I see this very often with our clients who are usually agencies between 5 and 30,000 per month. I see this all the time where they're in this cycle. And based on my experience, I was in it too. So the only way that you can get out of this from working too much is to operationalize. And what that looks like is sequentially giving off tasks to other people or AI or automation. Honestly, they could both do it to make sure that you get your time back. So an example of this for me was, I was doing setting myself. I was sending messages, I was following up, all of that. I eventually just hired a setter on a commission basis. It was super easy, super straightforward. And he just did all the bookings. And I paid him around $30 to $50 per call. And then I was out of that. Then I used all of that time, because I was getting more bookings, to just take even more sales calls. I just opened up my calendar. And this is what allowed me to add an extra 10 to 20,000 after I did that. And every single time I delegated a major thing, whether that was client support, client delivery, immediately I just added more revenue and the business grew. So the second principle is around lacking leverage, specifically in acquisition. So to explain this, I want to tell you a quick story from when I was starting my agency. I was using purely LinkedIn to grow. So when I was, in the space and I was trying to figure out what platform to use, email, cold calling, all of that, I decided I wasn't going to start a YouTube channel because I was too scared to talk on camera and I didn't even know what to talk about. But secondly, I didn't want to do cold calling because I firstly didn't want to talk to people. And I didn't do cold email because I thought there wasn't much leverage in that, right? So I was just like a faceless name to them. I was just like text. So I decided to go with LinkedIn. My niche was on there. I didn't have to post videos. And all was good. And I started getting my first bookings by sending voice notes. And this is a system that still works today, but this is how I get my first bookings. Now, there were 2 points in the journey. The first was before I posted content and after I posted content. So before I posted content, I would get onto calls. People would ask me, what do you do again? They would forget why they were on the call. They had no trust. They didn't know me. They just saw some random kid from South Africa on a call, and they would have endless questions. They didn't trust me, and when I did present the pitch, they were like, oh, this is way too expensive. Can you do it for free first and then you see the results from there? Or they would say things like, look, can I see some case studies? Can I see some proof? Can I have testimonials? Okay, we need a follow-up call. I need to talk to my partner. There was just no trust. And it was like I was having to pull the process. I was having to like by force get the deal closed. On the other hand though, when I started posting content, I saw some videos on YouTube of people talking about the value of content, of building trust, all of that. And all I did was I started posting text posts on LinkedIn, but I was too scared to get on video. So I thought, let me just share what I was learning via text and see if it helps. And nearly the same week that I started, I immediately got a different reaction. I kept doing the voice notes, I kept booking the meetings. But when I did get onto a call with the prospect, they were like, hey, I've been loving your post. I really got value from this. I implemented this. It worked really well. And then they liked me and they trusted me. And when I got to the pitch, they had no questions. They had no objections and they were just ready to get started. They paid me more while I was on the sales call less and everything was better. So the lesson that I got from that is you can add leverage to your acquisition by posting content. Whether this is videos, I do it now, LinkedIn, Instagram, anything, to build that trust beforehand. And this, instead of having 5 follow-up calls, sending testimonials, back and forth emails, all the way down to closing on one call, which at this point 90% of our clients close on one call because they already know me and they trust me and they're honestly just ready to buy. So one of the quickest ways that you can work to sign more clients is get leverage in sales by posting content, but also get leverage in your bookings. So get a set or get a software to duplicate what you're doing, and within a week you can genuinely 5 to 10 extra results simply by doing more of what's working. And like I mentioned, this is exactly what we do for our clients right now. We just give them the copy and paste systems to obviously get the bookings, get the sales. I mean, that's honestly the easiest part. That can add you like an extra 30K. But most importantly, we give the systems to apply leverage. So for example, getting the commission-based setter in, using content for your sales, and then getting a sales rep in to just make sure everything's taken care of. So if you want more info on that and just to see if everything's a good fit, I can just walk you through the process. Just book a call using the link below and then we can see if everything's a fit. So the third reason on why you're not signing clients is because of distraction. So when I was first starting out, before I signed any clients, before I got mentorship programs, all of that, I was a mess, right? I was constantly on YouTube. I was watching free information. I was, looking for the best cold email script, the best outreach method, the best business model. So I was switching between things like drop shipping. I was looking at things like Forex trading. I was looking at things like agency, all these things. And the reality is that everything would have worked if I just picked one. And I mean, I've seen it now that I just picked the one and it's working. So this applies on the macro level in terms of your business model, all of that, but also on the micro. So if you know, and you know this because I'm literally just telling you this, because if you just send voice notes every single day using this process, you will get results. But if you know that you need to do something and you're not doing it, then it's most likely because you're doing something else. It's literally just all there is. And usually when you're not doing the main thing, you're doing something that honestly isn't moving the needle. So for me, I knew that every day I had to send 20 voice notes. If I did that, I knew that I would book 1 to 3 calls every single day on LinkedIn. But what happened is, I would wake up, I would open the laptop. For some reason, I forgot to close the tab and then YouTube's open in the corner. So I just click it, then I see the homepage and it's like, oh, there's a new video coming out. And I end up on this rabbit hole for 4 hours, just clicking YouTube videos. Then I listen to music. Then I'm like, okay, I need a break. Let me go for a walk. Then I eat something. And by the end of the day, I've done a lot, but I haven't done anything that moves the needle. So one of the biggest pieces of advice that I can give, and I was given this on one of the coaching calls inside of Agency Accelerator, is just to remove all distraction, right? When I was doing this and when I actually got results, I joined a program. I literally blocked YouTube. I had something on my phone to block it completely. I deleted it. I couldn't access it, my Instagram, everything. And I just worked on the main thing. I just had a program. I followed what they said to do. And I just asked questions in that community. They were the only people I spoke to. And because of that, it was rapid. So on the macro level, pick one business, pick one offer, right? Just do that. Pick one platform and just do your outreach and content on there. If you want to use LinkedIn like I did, by all means, we have a video that explains how we did it. But anything, it doesn't matter, as long as your niche is on there. Then on the micro level, look at your environment, right? Make sure, and this may sound like it doesn't apply to business, but it really does. Make sure your environment is actually clean. If you have some dirty, dark, stinky room that you don't want to go into, it's like you're not going to want to do work. So make sure everything's clean. Make sure everything's organized, right? There's no clutter on your desk, anything like that. So what I'd recommend is block everything. There's Chrome extensions called Undistracted that can literally just block these platforms. You won't even be able to access them. Then there's another one, if you really want to go hardcore, it's called Self-Control, where you can properly just not be able to access website. Your computer can't do it. And tools like these actually help you to stay focused. And genuinely, if you can just remove all distractions, keep your phone on airplane mode in another room, whenever you're working, from the minute I go to sleep, I turn it off and I don't check it till 1 p.m. the next day. If you could just have even just 3 hours of focused work on needle moving tasks like outreach, like posting content, I promise you, if you stay consistent, you will be at 10, 50, even 100,000 per month, assuming you can handle the delivery. So if you want one-on-one help from myself, both accountability, motivation, but then also the actual systems and a group who are doing the exact same thing, then just book a time using the link below. We can see if there's a fit and I can just walk you through how it would look.